All right, hey gang, today I want to take a deeper dive into my TPS method. What the heck is TPS? What does it mean? How to apply it to your trading starting today. Let's dive right in. All right, hey gang, Nate Bear here, lead technical tactician for Monument Traders Alliance and trade of the day. And as I mentioned, today we're going to be talking about my absolute favorite setup, my bread and butter technical analysis pattern, how I play it, how I use it every day on multiple time frames. And then I'll show you a setup that I'm in and looking to add to right now. Okay, so essentially the name of my setup, this my bread and butter is trend pattern squeeze, right? And this is affectionately, I call it TPS. So if I say, hey, I've got a TPS setup on a 78-minute chart or a TPS setup on a daily chart, everybody that I trade with understands immediately what that means. And today I want to spend a few minutes sort of going over how that setup comes together, what a trend, a pattern, and a squeeze are, and then how you use that in your trading. Okay, so basically what we've got here is a setup that I'm trading and looking at right now in a company called Stride Inc. The ticker symbol is LRN. All right, so just briefly, what is trend, pattern, and squeeze, right? So we've got a situation here where I define a trend as stacked moving averages. And what I mean by that, a lot of times you'll ask somebody, hey, is this stock in a trend? Is it trending? Yes or no? And depending on who you ask, you'll get different answers. Well, I like to use something that is a little bit more concrete, which is moving averages. Are they stacked in a bullish manner? Meaning, is the shortest moving average on top, the medium moving average in the middle, and the longest moving average on bottom? If so, then it's trending in that time frame. So in this case, this is a 2-hour chart, and here is the 8 moving average. This is the 21 moving average, and this is the 55, right? So my smallest moving average is on top, my middle is in the middle, and my longer term, my biggest moving average is on the bottom. So in this case, right, we have a stacked moving averages, meaning we have a trend. It's not up for debate. It's not, well, like maybe it's trending. I'm not really sure. I don't even know what a trend is. That's what a trend is. And on this time frame, it's trending. Okay. So we get that out of the way first. From there, is there a pattern? And again, I like to play simple patterns: bull flags, bull pennants, head and shoulders, cup and handles, just technical analysis kind of one-on-one. I'm not looking for any sort of like ABCD special diamond in the rough, patterns that you like. I want to look at a chart and I want to say, oh yeah, that's a bull flag, right? So if we look at this chart right here of LRN, right, what do we see? Is that hard to, right? It jumps off the page, right? It's like, wow, yeah, that's pretty easy to see. That's a bull flag. Got it, Nate. Let's go find out what a squeeze is. So a squeeze is an indicator that was created by John Carter many years ago, and it is a timing indicator. It helps me time entries on my options trades. So what we're looking for right here is basically these red dots, right? So if we have these red dots, that tells me that whatever we're looking at has rested and is ready to sort of continue on the next leg of its journey. Now, here's the thing that we dial in a little bit. This wave, right? This is the momentum. This represents momentum in the stock you're looking at. So what I want to see is that momentum going from down to up if it's a bullish trade, or if it's a bearish trade, I want to see it going from up to down. And this is a momentum shift like right here. If we look at, right, see the momentum is going up and then it shifts to down. That's a bearish momentum shift. See how right here it's going down and then it shifts right there and it starts going up. That's a bullish momentum shift. So what we're looking for then, right, is we have a trend. Yes, we've confirmed that. We have a pattern. Yes, we've confirmed that. And do we have a squeeze? Yes, we've confirmed that. So we've got all three components, and now we just go set up a trade. So within this methodology, once you've confirmed the three components, you got a trend, you got a pattern, you got a squeeze, then the next thing to do is to just go and choose an option, go and pick a option that gives you enough time for that chart to play out. So if it's a daily chart, you don't want to buy an option that expires the same day because it's not giving yourself enough time for a daily chart with daily candles, right? You only get one new candle a day to play out. If you're playing a 5-minute chart and it's 10:30 in the morning, sure, play options that expire that afternoon. Go for it. Be my guest. But in general, the further out you go, the safer you are because you're giving yourself the gift of time. Okay. Now, in this instance, LRN is one in which they only have monthly options available. So what I'm going to suggest doing is actually just going out into March, right? Going out into next month. These options are not terribly expensive, but going out and picking up the $90 calls, they're slightly out of the money. You can do the 85s as well, but I'm going to suggest the $90 calls, for March 20th. And now here's your parameters, right? Let me zoom out on this chart just a little bit and show you a pretty interesting thing here. So this chart actually is fascinating to me because there's a huge gap from like 150 all the way down here to about, $90. And if we start to break over this level, into that gap, I'm not saying that we're going to go close the gap based off of this 120 minute squeeze, but the idea that this can work higher after just beating earnings, right? Earnings winner, flagging out, room to run overhead. I like it. And oh, by the way, it's got like 15% short float. So it's got everything I'm looking for. So that's the play. We're going to be looking at the LRN 320 $90 calls based on this 120 minute TPS setup. Now, the trade will work ideally something like this. You want to get in around the people that are positioned within this pattern. So here's your pattern, right? Where are the people positioned? Well, it's right here, this big point of control. So that is around 87. So if you can position around 87, great. If you want to, I wouldn't buy it at 95 if it starts to move, right? But around 87 would be a great entry. And then we're looking for a move higher up into about 96. I actually have a stretch target of 100 just because it's that sort of psychological goal, psychological sort of, target that's out there. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for in this trade. But I think up entry around 87, target around 96, and then where's the stop? Well, for me, you see these green lines. This represents symmetry within this move down. So if we started to close below 80, like under 80 on a closing basis, that's where I would consider this trade wrong. I would consider this trade a bust, and I would move on. All right. So that's what I've got for this week. I hope it helps. That's my TPS method explained and a trade idea that fits within that system. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.